And welcome back to more Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon. So last time we went over the bad ending and ultimate mode, and this time we're going to be trying out the boss rush, which is unlocked by clearing ultimate mode. First of all, there are cheat codes for this mode. If you hold down different buttons, you'll get different effects, and I will be holding down all the buttons to show all the effects. So, we start out in this little hub area with all of these sub-weapons, and 2 hearts, also a portal to the boss. So I'm going to grab the lightning power-up because it's really good, and we're going to confront the glutton train once more. One detail I noticed on an earlier off-screen playthrough is actually this train has the number 4444 on it, which I think is very interesting, because 4 is a very significant number in Japanese culture for being connected to death. So being a demon train, I feel like this is not a coincidence. So we have unlimited sub-weapon energy, and to get unlimited sub-weapon energy, you hold down the sub-weapon button while selecting the boss rush. We also have the Nightmare Mode variant of the boss, which is holding down the L button, our left bumper, and there are 2 more cheats that I'll go over soon. So, did you notice the scroll came back? It's not supposed to do that. By holding down Y, or the attack button, you can cause all of the items, sub-weapons and the 2 hearts, to reappear after every fight. Normally they're one-time use. I have been trying to do various runs of this mode for a bit now, and even with all the cheats I have had no luck, and thus that is why I'm using the cheats. This boss is actually kind of interesting because I discovered something kind of unique about this fight. From what I could tell, this is the only boss that does not reappear in Ritual of the Night. Every other boss in this game does, except this one. By the way, being the Nightmare Mode variant, it's a lot more aggressive now. We have these little stones falling in patterns of 3 instead of 2, so they're a lot harder to dodge. More icicles are on the ceiling, there are more bubbles in this attack. But yes, these are all the Nightmare variations because I wanted to show them off, because I didn't actually do a Nightmare Mode playthrough or an Ultimate Mode playthrough, so I figured the boss rush would be the best place to show all this off. That being said, I can't do this without cheats, so that's why I'm opting to do this. For the sake of convenience and getting through this in a reasonable amount of time, I actually dodged that, okay. That's a first. Another reason why I am not using I am using cheats, what I meant to say is why I'm not opposed to using cheats, is there's an achievement and trophy for completing the boss rush, and it doesn't disable the use of cheats for this, so I figured might as well, right? To tell the truth, even with, like, unlimited sub-weapon energy, I've kind of been here for a while, trying to, complete this boss rush. It's not been going super great. And you'd think even with all these cheats it would be a lot easier, but, yeah, I get walled at the stage 7 Nightmare Mode variant, and then that's about it. And like in other, boss rushes, obviously we don't have any lives. We have to do this in one shot. This boss is really easy, by the way. The only difference is more enemies spawn in after the hand attack, and I feel like the coin stacks are higher, so you have to attack more. That's about the only difference. But trying to do this normally on Nightmare difficulty, well, I mean, it's a nightmare, hence the name. So I just feel like, I could probably learn the game well enough to do that, but for the sake of this playthrough, I just kind of wanted to get a move on. So unlike the previous boss, this one actually has a very noticeable difference. What just happened there? It didn't do the fire attack, and I'm curious as to why. So the second phase in particular is a little bit different. Does the lightning affect the fire? I think it does, and just attacks in general can interrupt it or something. But the second phase, yeah, that actually is really cool. I didn't know it did that. The second phase in particular is a lot rougher, because the fire breath, I think, causes you to have to duck. Instead of just standing on this tile, you have to actually duck, so it's a lot tougher. And I think it's also faster as well. I want to be using G-Bolt for this, because I don't trust platforming with Alfred. By the way, you stand up to cast, so don't cast right as the fire is about to come out, because you will probably take damage. Again, swapping doesn't, though, even though they do stand up in the animation. Also, I'm just realizing this boss doesn't have a Desperation Attack in either form. That's interesting, I never thought about that. So far so good. Again, we don't have to worry about running out of hearts because of the attack button cheat code. I would probably recommend using that anyway, even if you don't go for the unlimited sub-weapon energy, because going in with only 2 hearts and very limited sub-weapons sounds really difficult. So this boss is weird because other than, I think, taking a little bit more damage and maybe having slightly more aggressive attack patterns like this, there isn't that much that I've noticed that's different. It's a very similar fight. Maybe it's because I fight it with lightning, so I just never noticed that much is different about it. Alright, so this is bad. So you have to slide here, like so, and do some damage. Even the Desperation Attack isn't that bad. Also, by the way, I actually did get killed by a Desperation Attack in an earlier attempt. So I'm not sure if that's just an Ultimate Mode thing or a Nightmare Mode thing, or if they actually can kill you if you're only at 1 health. I legitimately don't know. By the way, this is a lot easier to dodge with Zangetsu fully leveled up. Did I mention that? That holding down R gives Zangetsu all of his special moves from Ultimate Mode? I think I actually forgot to mention that. I mean, to be blunt, I haven't actually played as Zangetsu in the boss rush at all, so it makes sense why that would actually slip my mind. So next up is Stage 6's boss, which isn't that bad either. I would say the main difference with this fight is just slightly more aggressive attack patterns. By the way, off screen I did learn how to deal with the Desperation Attack, so I'll try to show that off. Yeah, it's a pretty similar fight, maybe a little bit more aggressive, maybe the umbrellas move a little bit faster. By the way, if you want to fight this without lightning, Jeeble is the best character, because you can stand on the umbrella, like the central umbrella, and just kind of deal damage really easy. Like if you stand right there, you can do a lot of damage really fast. She's probably gonna do the rain attack soon, so I don't know who to swap to. Because I don't want to lose any characters. In Boss Rush, by the way, if a character goes down, you don't get them back at the beginning of the next fight. They're permanently lost. So be very careful about your health management, because you can run out of characters. First of all, stand all the way to the right. Second of all, there will be a face in the Cyclone that you have to attack, like so. I didn't do it quite right, so I got clipped by the Cyclone anyway, but that's how you're supposed to do it. Alright, so 2 more bosses to go, counting the final boss as one fight. I'm actually not sure how it's going to be divided up for this, if it's going to be counted as 2 separate fights. I hope it is, that would make it a lot easier. For the sake of getting through this a little bit easier, I actually have never shown this off. You have a little charge-up move there. I think that was the only sub-weapon we didn't show off before. And also, I think effects stack, like fire as well. The fire shield, if you use it as Alfred and swap, it still applies. Alright, so this boss is, in my opinion, as far as I've gotten, the toughest boss. It's mean. So you want to take advantage of lightning early on. Well, when he's on the wall, definitely use it a lot. Dodging, this attack right here is really difficult. I get hit by that a lot for some reason. Somehow it feels very inconsistent dodging that. I'm not sure why, because I don't remember being having that much trouble dodging it normally. I usually switch to Zangetsu because he has the most health, so if he gets hit by it, it's not that big of a deal. Also, you might want to limit how many characters you heal with, or how many characters you switch to, because you can only heal a set amount of times. This is a Desperation Attack I actually died to, by the way. On one attempt, I actually did die to his final attack, which was really weird. Let's see if I can dodge it. The timing is basically right as the 4 other variants appear. Just jump like that. It's not that difficult, but I did die to it. Alright, so we're in pretty bad shape going into the final boss. Unlike before, I'm not sure if this'll work the way I think it will, so just to be on the safe side, I am collecting sub-weapons. Just be careful. I'm not sure how this works, if it's divided into, like, a second phase being a second chance to equip, so we'll have to see. Alright, so we're gonna use the other characters as tanks, basically, like so, because Alfred is gonna be the best damage dealer for both phases of this, so we will be trying to use Alfred minimally in terms of taking damage. Zangetsu's low on health, so I have to swap over to Miriam. Yeah, this is, like, in my opinion, a very difficult fight. To do damageless. I have no clue if it's possible. I assume it is, but I just don't know the telegraphs. I don't know how this... Yeah, I don't know how this fight is telegraphed, so I've never been able to do it damageless. Right now I'm just rushing it too much. By the way, I'm not actually entirely confident that we'll actually be able to beat this. This is not easy, even with cheats, this is still giving me a lot of trouble. Again, I did a cheat run already, and I got to, this boss and lost, because I lost all 3 characters, or 3 of the characters to the previous boss. You know one valid strategy I was just thinking of? If a character isn't topped off at full health, you might want to sacrifice another character, just to get another health refill if you have that cheat turned on. Yeah, my biggest issue is just dodging everything, because I don't know the proper timing, or like the proper signals for each type of attack. Like, see, I was just positioned perfectly for that, but I'm not sure how to do that consistently. I'm also in a good spot where I can just kind of combo the daggers, which is nice. Alright, so this is going well, I think. I say that now. Alright, so we have the ultimate mode variant of Gremmery Phase 2. I'm nervous about this fight, immensely nervous, because I have, like, no health with anybody. And again, if you die, I think you have to do Phase 1 again with one less character, so that would not be good. I'm not sure what's really different about this fight, other than just general aggressiveness of the attack pattern. That felt different somehow, I'm not sure why, but that seemed harder to dodge. I'm gonna swap over to Zangetsu to dodge this, just be careful. We're not beating this boss. Never mind. Congratulations! This is the first time I've technically beaten the boss rush, even though I had to use cheats to do so hooray! That was easier than I thought it would be. We didn't even get to see most of the attacks, sadly. But yeah, if you just want the achievement trophy, that's probably the best way, minus selecting Nightmare Mode. But there is one more thing I wanted to show. So we're going to jump into a previous file, to demonstrate one final option that I never got around to showing before. Alright, so we're back to stage 8 for our final time. So if you go to the pause menu, you will notice an option entitled Curse of the Moon. If you find yourself regretting a grievous error you have committed in the past, the moon's curse can undo the flow of time and give you the chance to begin anew. What this does is basically show you your progress, and you can basically back up to specific levels. It's kind of like a weird stage select, where, say you did a particular outcome and then you want to get something else in the same file, like if you killed off one character and then do a playthrough, and then in the same file want to do a different outcome, you can use the Curse of the Moon option to reset your progress up to whatever level you want. And it shows the little graphics of what you've collected, and so on. It's kind of neat. Nice little option for changing paths. I like having separate files for different outcomes, so I just have like 4 files for the good ending, Zangetsu only, ultimate ending, and nightmare ending. But yeah, that is an option for replaying the game. But with that, I think that's just about it for this game. I do wish I could have done a boss rush nightmare mode run without relying on the infinite weapon energy. It just was not gonna happen with my current skill level. Maybe if I practiced someday I can do it for real, but oh well. With that being said though, we are going to call it here for now. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for something different.